Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, today, today we're looking at this brand new. Well, it's not brand new to me. I've had it for a while. I actually pre-ordered this a while back when Spirit Halloween was first announcing this. But this is the brand new 2023 Spirit Halloween uh life-size proton pack. Um, with the brand new um Hasbro's HasLab 1984 Spangled Wand, which just recently released. Um, I've made a few modifications to the pack already. Um, I've made a few modifications to it, small modifications. I haven't made any like major modifications or anything like that. I did do a modification on the cyclotron lid. This is all 3D printed. Um, I I got this off of like Etsy. I got this part right here off of Etsy. That's my to make it look more legit from the Ghostbuster films. Even the lens are replicated because I took out the original lens that they had in here and I put in these are GB fans Ghostbusters styled actual acrylic lens, red lens. They don't quite fit perfectly into the life size pack here, but with a little bit of hot glue, it'll fit just fine. Um, the reason I said they don't fit that good is because I didn't actually officially take off the original nubs that that you have to use with the screws to put the original cyclotron lenses in here. So, because I'm thinking about redoing the lenses again because I saw a kit out there that's like a customized lens kit for the life size pack, and I may end up buying those so the lenses could sit flushed, a little bit flat more. These are you can't really tell it by looking at it. Can't really tell it just by looking at it that good, but they actually sit a little off centered because one half of the lens touches the actual um, screw little nub that you put the screw in. But and this is modified too. I modified this. I got this off of Etsy as well. It's been sanded down and painted and everything. This is a Clippert valve. This is a 3D printed Clippert valve cover that you can buy from Etsy from an Etsy guy off of a Etsy shop. Um, I'm gonna have to go back through and try to remember some of these sellers' names on Etsy. If you guys want to buy these products, they are really cool people. I really love the products. They've really helped me out a lot with my life size pack here. Um, let's see, what else did I do? Oh, the split loom here is nicer, thicker, and a little bit more flexible because this is real actual GB fans splitless loom. That means it has no split in it. This is a full loom without the split in it, and this is what I'm currently using as the real loom because the other one they had on it was kind of a little wonky and a little chunky, a little hard. Uh, it wasn't the real thing. It just didn't feel right. It didn't look right, and it was also a little too big. So I had to cut. I bought some real GB fans loom for this, and I just cut it down to size. And this, believe it or not, does not come on the pack. This is another upgrade I made a while back when I first actually got this. Some of the stuff you see on here are just from parts from another pack that I was building that I didn't finish. Um, so, but this part right here is 100% replicated. This is a real resin part from GB Fans. This is the loom connector, and if I can zoom in here, or if I can get closer into it, you can actually tell it by these welds here. They actually have the welding on them. The actual, like, I think I saw one just like this on Etsy as a 3D printed piece that you could buy for the life size pack, but because it's 3D printed, it doesn't actually have the welds. I mean, you could probably like replicate these welds on a 3D printed version with like some hot glue, um, with a little bit of hot glue on the sides, and just paint them black to match the entire base of that. But this is a real part. This is a real GB fans part. I had it for years. I just decided to put it there and use it there to make it more screen accurate. Um, I also changed out the tip on the clipper valve itself. This is actually from an older. This here is actually from an older Spengler wand that didn't work. I don't know what really happened. I actually bought two of the Spengler wands from Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I don't know what happened in shipping or something like that. I don't know what happened with that situation, but both guns that I had actually didn't work. I would put the batteries in and I would fire them up, and about 2 weeks later, they would just they would just go out. They would just die. I could only assume it was the original versions of the wands. It's not the newly released version of them, because they make them now where they all have the orange tip. Um, but if you have the original version of the Spengler wands from Ghostbusters Afterlife with the silver tip, they are so infamous for the tube. Like, if you mess around with the wand and if you pop the tube in and out of the wand a couple of times, it literally shreds away. It literally shreds away the cable connector that runs and operates the sounds and lights in the wand. I did not know that. Um, After about 2 weeks of playing with the wand, just I hadn't even opened it up. I didn't open it up. I didn't look inside it or anything like that. Just after 2 weeks of playing with them, they actually it just actually like it went in froze mode. Like, it just froze on me in like mid firing. Um, and like I actually had to actually like unplug the. I had to actually take the end cap off and take the entire battery casing out of them. And then when I put the batteries back in it and put the casing back on, um, when I put the batteries back in the gun, and then I put the cap back on, and I try to fire up the guns again, and like nothing. I got nothing. I got no lights, no sounds, no anything. So then that's when I actually opened up the gun, looked inside the gun, and I realized the cable that actually connects to the soundboard and the light board inside the gun was cut. It was cut in half. I don't know how that happened. I could only assume that it was because I kept popping the gun in and out, so much that it just kind of warped. I think it kind of warped and wore down the wire, which caused it to cut in half accidentally. Either that, or they were kind of wonky or messed up from shipping, because I actually bought both of those straight from Hasbro, from their website. I didn't buy it from a third party. I didn't go to eBay or anything like that. I actually bought them from Hasbro themselves. So I can only imagine that maybe they probably either got messed up um in the they probably got messed up inside the in shipping or whatever. But that's enough about that. That's a story for another time. But anyway, but yeah, this is the clipper. This is the tip of the clipper valve from one of those guns. Um, and this is the crank knob. I just kind of it's the original crank knob. I haven't really done any modifications to that yet. I will be doing something with this a while, a little bit later. Not today, just whenever I feel like it. Um, Maybe put a screen accurate one on here. But I did paint this entire gray. Um, Here is the modification I did to the booster tube. This is a spare 3D printed ladder that I had. I actually had to cut it down just a little bit to make it fit more flushed to the pack, because this is actually a full sized one. And if I get in here close enough, you see what I mean. See this part right here? I actually, I had to cut this off. I'm gonna try to find something to like fit right here to kind of like get those rough edges off of there. But for right now, this is kind of how it looks. It's kind of scruffy looking, but I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that. It does have a real screw up here that goes into. Well, it don't go into this, but it goes into the plastic portion right here. But this is a real screw holding that part, holding the top part down. And here is a real um um uh geez, I cannot remember what this part is called. I can't remember what this part is called. I want to say it's called the ribbon clamp. I think that's what it's called, the ribbon cable clamp. But this is the real deal. I bought this off of GB Fans a long time ago as well. Um, this is not the official original screw. I'm still trying to find, believe it or not, I'm still trying to find original parts, like original screws and stuff, for some of this stuff. But at the moment, this is all I got. So this is what I'm dealing with. I will be switching out the ribbon cable that came with this pack. This is the original ribbon cable that came with the pack. I have not I have not switched that out yet. Um, I'm thinking about going with either a GB2 original cable or a GB1 cable. I may end up going with just getting one of each and kind of like switching the packs out. Every once in a while, like if I want to do a GB1's pack, I would just put the GB1's ribbon cable on there. If I want to do GB2, I'll just put that cable on there because this ribbon cable clamp could actually be removed, and I could actually put whatever kind of cable I want on here. What else? This right here is not the original loom that comes with this pack. This is actually a replica loom that I bought again from GB Fans for this particular part. It's a little bit. I like it because it's a little bit nicer. It's a little bit thicker. The original one is still there. It's underneath it, but it's a little bit smaller and skinnier. I have not done anything to the connectors yet. Haven't done anything to the connectors that runs the cable here yet. Um, so these are still the original plastic ones. Um, believe it or not, you don't really have to upgrade these real ones if you don't want to. Uh, you could actually, with a little bit of paint, you could actually make these look real, like the real thing. Um, I'm really skilled at painting and stuff like that, and making stuff and stuff like that. Like this right here is like the easiest mod that I did. All I did was switch out the cap, and boom, it matches the gun that I have. Um, I didn't do anything to this yet. I'm the shock mount. I'm thinking about doing something like I think I have a spare smaller version of this somewhere that I may put on here to replicate it a little bit better. But I did paint it though. Like I painted it and weathered it. So um, what else? What else? What else did I do? Oh, oh, yes. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about the wand here. As I said earlier in the video, this is a 1984 Spangler wand put out by Hasbro from the HasLab team. This is brand spanking new. Um, I actually have the box to prove it. Here's my box. There's the box. See the box? Lovely box. That's my box. And the box is pretty cool. And here's the original box that came. Here's the original box that came with the Spangler wand as well. And no, this is not the Spangler wand that I'm talking about. They got messed up. That's actually a modified Spirit Life Size Pack wand that I'm still working on. But that's for another story. Um, moving back to the wand. Moving back to this wand. Okay, so right out of the box, it is amazing. It is awesome. Like I love the original grips and everything. And yes, I did do a couple mods already to this, but it's very subtle. I didn't really do any major upgrades to anything in the inside of the wand. This wand is amazing because it still operates brand new out of the packaging. I don't have to worry about the light kits going out. I don't have to worry about the wand freezing up or messing up or anything of that nature. But let's go over some of the really cool mods that I did to it. Number one mod that I did to it right out of the back was switch out this tip. As I said, one of my older Spengler HasLab Afterlife ones got messed up, but it still had the silver tip. So I switched out that annoying orange tip that comes with this one with the silver tip. That was the first mod I did. The second thing I did was these banjos. I switched out the banjos, and I am still gonna try to get some replicated banjos um, to go on the wand here. But for now, this works fine. Um, I did a little bit of painting as well. Like I painted this the inner ring here, or whatever you want to call it. Can't remember what it's called, but the little silver ring right here on the tip of the gun. I painted that silver to match the tip of the gun. Because in the films, is actually if you actually own a real 1984 wand, that part is actually silver. It's not black or brown. It's actually silver. Um, Moving on to the rest of the wand, I weathered these parts right here. I painted them silver because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe in the film these are actually silver. So I painted them silver. Um, Let me see. Can I? Let me see if I can. Can I get the wand off here? It's kind of hard to do this with one handed. I do have a modified Hasbro's HasLab um, fee hook connector on the back of here. I did take off the S hook. It's very easy to do. All you really have to do is see that top ring right there. That's where it's usually connected to. But there's a screw behind that. Once you take the Hasbro fee hook connector off of here, you could actually get to that little nub that has a screw there. You take that screw out, and that piece could actually just pop right off because it's just hot glued together. Both parts are just hot glued together. The little S hook and the ring, they're just glued together. So I actually the only reason I actually removed it off of here is because, believe it or not, this HDA right here, I feel like it's a little too big. Might be a little too big, or it could just be a little too long. I don't know. But when you go to pull the gun itself off of the pack, that S hook catches onto it so easily that you can barely pull the gun off, or you can barely put the gun on. So I just kind of removed it. Another thing, this is the original 1984 fee hook connector that I actually bought. I actually bought this from GB Fans a while back as well, and it's all metal, all metal. Here's the other half of it. The reason there's not another screw in this as well is because it doesn't quite fit this particular fee hook setup. So that's why that is the way that is. Don't worry, it's not loose. It's actually tight enough that it doesn't bother me. Um, we're going to try to put this back on. See if I can do that. There we go. I think that's got it on there. Yeah, it's got it on there. We're gonna move on to the rest of the wand. Ooh. Alright, here's what it looks like from a side view of the wand. You can see a really nice look of it. This right here. This was completely all red when I got it. When I actually looked at it from the box, this is completely all red. So I just kind of masked off the top part, and then I painted the actual base of it silver to make it look like a real button. The grips, on the other hand, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can't get this gun back off again. Let's see. Try to get this gun off here again. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, there we go. Now we're good to go. But I actually painted the grips as well. In the movies, they're actually all black with a little bit of brown on the grip part of it. But I think the brown parts that they have painted on here, the more I play with it with my hands around the grips, the brown part actually just start fading away. I don't know why it did that, but it just did. But I wasn't a big fan of the brand new painted up brown that they had on here because I wanted that original classic look. So I went ahead and just kind of like, painted them black um, to make them look more legit. That's the front grip and all. And here's the clipper valve, the heatsink. The body of the gun is 100%. Everybody's been talking about this for a while since the gun came out. Yes, they reused the Ghostbusters Spengler gun box from the Afterlife one. They did reuse that. The only thing they really changed on here is the grips. Everything else looks original to the Afterlife one, and the reason you could tell that is because if I get closer up into it, if I can get the look right or focus right or something, you could actually see these like weldings and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It might not show up that good on here, but you could actually see the weldings, the original weldings that was on the Afterlife one. This is pretty cool. I like how they replicated this metal showing through the black paint on here. That's pretty cool. Here is a side view of the other grip. Pretty cool, huh? And I painted those discs on the side to be screen accurate as well because they're supposed to be silver too. This part right here, I don't know exactly what it's actually called on the gun, but I gave it a little bit of a weathering to it, just a little bit. I gave it just a little bit of weathering to it to kind of replicate it just a little bit, make it look like it's got a little bit of weathering on it to match up the rest of the gun. And I painted. See if I could do this. And I painted this part right here. I painted this part right here orange to replicate the way it looked in Ghostbusters 2, the movie. Because I think in that movie it was orange. And the orange, to me, kind of like makes it stand out. Like, when you actually get this gun, this is actually a black hat light. Well, hat. Or whatever it's called. I don't know what this part was really called. It looks to me like another hat light, but it doesn't really light up. It never did. But I actually painted this orange to replicate the actual color that it should be from Ghostbusters 2. I think in Ghostbusters 1 it was white, but in Ghostbusters 2 it was orange. And then in the later films later on, it's always shown as being orange. It never shows up again ever being white again. That I could not that I could actually remember. So with that being said, there's not a whole lot going on with the one. It's nothing really too different for the other. It's not really that different from the other one. Like, it's not too different from the actual Afterlife one that came out in the previous release. Oh yeah, I gotta show you this, guys. This is my. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it right. There you go. There's another clear shot of my banjos that I kind of made up for it, and also I had to I removed the original banjo that went with that, so so that the cable actually bends and curls, just like you actually see it in actual films. This is the correct orientation that they should be in. They shouldn't be flopping around. It shouldn't be like sitting sideways. This is the actual the right way the red cable is supposed to be on here, and it still actually pops out the tube actually still pops out from the wand and everything else. Um, Here's the way the green one's supposed to look. I kind of made that up a little bit better too, so it doesn't kind of like have that weird bend to it. But let's get down to the real cooler parts about it. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna put the wand back on the. I'm gonna put the wand back on the pack right quick, so I can show you some other cool stuff. There we go. Got my wand. Got my wand back. I got my wand back on my pack. So What else did I do to it? Oh, I painted this up in the front with some black paint just a little bit. If you can see it pretty good there. I weathered that just a little bit to make it kind of look like, I guess it's I guess this is the way it looked in GB2. My pack, I guess you could say, is kind of based off of Ghostbusters 2. Like, I'm always about the latest looks of things. And don't worry, I do have some parts that I handmade specifically to make this a Ghostbusters Afterlife pack as well. But the way that I'm doing it is like everything that's going to be Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire is going to be removable. Like everything is going to be put on here a certain way they could like remove everything and have it come back to looking like the 1984 pack without altering, without any drilling holes or anything of that nature. That kind of hinders, like if you're like me and you like Ghostbusters, but you can only afford what you can afford as getting props as far as getting props from your favorite film. My theory is the way to go. You could, I mean, I could be wrong. You could do it any way you want to. I mean, it's your stuff. But with my pack, I've chosen to make this one like an all-in-one pack. Like this is going to be a 1984 pack slash Ghostbusters 2 pack slash Ghostbusters Afterlife pack slash Frozen Empire pack. In other words, all these new parts that you see from Afterlife and Frozen Empire are going to be actually removable from this pack. That way, it comes back to looking like this, like the 1984 pack. But this right here, I just kind of like, painted that with some black, flat black paint, only around the edges, just to give it that weathered, silver and black look, like you see out of Ghostbusters 2. Yes, and I do know that this is not correct. This is original stock to the pack. Like I think there is a seller on Etsy that they offer life size pack iron arms for this particular pack, which has this brass fitting in the right correct in the right points, in the right spot on here. But for now, I'm just working with this. I don't really have a whole lot of money to spend just yet on this pack. But here's one cool feature of the inside of the pack that I did do, and you guys are going to love it. You guys are going to love this. Watch this. This pack operates off of a real light kit with a switch that's found on the back of the pack. That's right. The original light kits that come with this pack is okay, but and it's kind of sort of screen accurate, but I just don't like the fact that everything's connected through the wand. So my wand has its own lights and sounds, so I'm not worried about that. The loom, the actual cable that attaches my wand here, does not have the cords inside it like it does when you first buy these packs. But this is really cool. I put a real light kit inside here and watch the magic happen. You flip the switch. Boom. Awesome, right? Man, that's bright. Man, that's really bright. Let me see if I can focus in on here. See if I can focus in on here. If you can see, if you can kind of see in there, I've got the original light kit bulbs. I've got the original light kit bulbs, round bulbs that you see out of the original films. I can't remember who the seller is, but I've had this light kit for my Ghostbusters pack for a long, long time. I really did. I've had it for a long time. But here it is in all its glory. Here is the cyclotron lights, shining bright like a diamond. This is awesome though. Like that's what it does when you turn on the switch. That's the actual lights. There is no audio. Like there's no humming sound. I'm not really big on rewiring and doing, I I don't know how to hook up speakers and stuff like that. So this is the best of what I can make with the pack. Maybe if I can get together with a friend who does know how to do stuff like that, I might ask them to hook me up a speaker in here, which will allow me to get the original um, Ghostbusters hum to come through with this light kit. But for now, this is how it's set up. It's just the light show. There's no hum or anything like that. But the cool thing is, I don't really have to worry too much about it because the wand here, the actual Spengler wand here from the 1984 film from Hasbro's HasLab, has all of those sounds in it. Watch. This is awesome. This is cool. Grab the wand here. This might be a little hard to do though. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Just a slow blow. Let's see. There you go. Got the wand lights on. That's the actual lights right there. And just like the let's see if I could do this. Just like the other wand, the original wand, you could actually control the motorized lights in here. Da 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 da. I don't know how far I got it up there. I've got it on 3 now. Bring it back down to 2. I like it on 2. But we're just gonna keep it on 2 for right now. But you could actually control the yellow parasail lights on the wand with that, just like the original Spengler wand that came out for Ghostbusters Afterlife. And now we hit our activation button. Boom, boom, baby. There we go. We are live. We are live. And then we take this part right here. Boom. Pop that out. And fire the proton stream. Oh, it went in overheat mode. That's cool. So it just went in overheat mode, but I'm gonna try to power it up again. I'm gonna try to power it up again and show you some other features of the wand. It's